The storm hit the sleeping village just before dawn. Vicious lightning ripped the dark morning air, striking the bell tower of the ancient church and shattering the quiet night with the sizzle of unharnessed electricity, followed by the crack of ear-splitting thunder. Claire St. John bolted upright in her bed. Her menagerie of cats leapt from their respective sleeping places as well, and ran about in a howling, squalling frenzy, pumping her already racing pulse. "Shut up!" Claire threw a pillow at Damien, a large black creature with piercing green eyes and the loudest voice of them all, then reached for the bedside lamp. Her hand trembled. "It's only a storm," she assured the animals. "Just regular lightning and thunder." The strike, however, had slammed into something uncomfortably close by, and she shivered. Pulling on a robe, she went to the tall front window of her bedroom and looked out across the valley toward the village below. Wind howled and rain fell in torrents, but to her relief she saw no sign that the lightning had started a fire. She turned from the window and tripped over an orange tabby, who protested loudly and shot from beneath her feet to take refuge under the bed. "For heaven's sake, calm down, all of you!" Claire was unsure who was more upset, herself or her brood of frightened felines, the beloved pets that were like the children she'd never had. "Let's make tea." Padding downstairs in robe and slippers, Claire's heartbeat slowed at last. "Silly of me to be so undone by a storm," she thought. As she passed the small breakfast table on her way to the stove, she caught a glimpse of the tarot cards she'd left there, still arranged in the pattern of the throw she'd done the night before, and her disquiet returned. For there, in the position of the outcome, card number 10, lay the Tower, one of the darkest, most disturbing and frightening cards in the deck. She picked it up and stared at it for a long moment, studying the image of a lightning bolt striking a tower, knocking the steeple off, along with two terrified people who were thrown into the blackness of the sky behind. The Tower. Symbol of violent change. Not always welcome change, but major change of one sort or another. The Tower could mean a divorce, but she wasn't married. It could mean loss of a job, but she was self-employed. It could mean the destruction of something or someone you cared about. Claire looked out the window through the lightning-illumined darkness at the land that stretched behind the old farmhouse, land that had been in her family for over a century. The land that she loved was being beaten violently by the wind and rain. Yes, a storm, she supposed, could be what the card indicated, although usually the Tower reflected more than a bad storm. Usually, she thought unhappily, filling the kettle with water and placing it over the fire, it meant a life-altering change was in store. And life-altering changes were always scary. Claire St. John was in no mood for alterations of any kind in her life. She was happy, settled, complacent, content to live in the house where she had grown up, on the farm left to her and her twin brother, Cameron, by their doting father. Cameron. Apprehension niggled at her. Did the Tower card refer to him? Claire loved her brother, but she worried about him, ever since he'd taken a position with an aggressive stock brokerage firm in the city. He'd been increasingly obsessed with making a fortune, immediately, no matter what. He'd begun to run with a fast crowd of London's young, rich, and restless. Claire did not like the few she had met. Many of them had auras of a sickly grey-green, revealing hidden fears and jealousies and in general a lack of the kind of character she could respect. Unfortunately, she had not kept her opinions to herself. Knowing that Cameron had always respected and welcomed her advice, she had warned him off these new acquaintances, with the result that they had quarrelled, and he had not spoken to her since. That had been a month ago. "What do you know?" he had sneered. "You never get out of your little hole here, except to engage in the folly you call a business."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.